Netflix hasn't had a very good year, as we know. Not a good year at all. They lost subscribers in the U.S., I think 2 quarters, 2 Qs in a row, right? Well, they have been surpassed by Amazon Prime in the streaming wars, to which I say, how?
Only by 1%.
But how? But still, how? So
well, I think I know why.
But here's the other thing. Technically, they don't win either of these. Disney wins because Disney has both Disney Plus, which is a 15% market share, and Hulu, which is an 11% market share. They own 75% of Hulu. So either way, they technically overtake both of them. And I think as if they end up consolidating Hulu into Disney Plus, which that could happen. I've seen reports of that. We will see that happen. How do you think it's even possible that Amazon Prime overtook Disney? Because I was thinking of all the shows that came out this year, right? What were Amazon Prime's biggest shows? I literally tweeted, I was like, Lord of the Rings, LOL. Like really? The Boys?
I mean, I guess if we're talking about the most culturally relevant
this year,
Rings of Power is up there.
And
but
The Boys.
It was not well liked.
No.
As far as I could tell. The Boys was big, yeah.
They had Terminalist and Reacher, but I liked those. Those weren't the same thing. Those aren't the same thing.
They had cult fan bases. Yeah. I don't know. When I scroll through Amazon
they had the
Prime,
Lizzo thing.
I
Big
just
girls.
see like Lizzo documentary, and then they kind of just, throw shit at the wall and see what sticks.
Yep.
And it rarely does. So my only hypothesis here is that in Amazon Prime, you can, do the in-house subscription
Purchasing
model, purchasing HBO Max or purchasing Paramount Plus or I don't know what the other ones are, but there are a ton of those different mini subscriptions within Amazon Prime that probably make it have a larger library of content than Netflix does.
By the way, let's end the poll since we're in this topic and see how it comes out. Guys, I asked you, the chat, which one has more wokeness, Netflix or Amazon? It is Netflix with a 69%. Hey, 69%. Nice. Am I right? Am I right? Got him. 606 votes. If only that had been 669 votes, it would have been almost all the better. Hate Speech says The Peripheral on Amazon. Peripheral was kind of boring.
Peripheral was lame.
It got.
I'm sorry.
Look, I think of what Netflix had. Netflix had Wednesday, Inventing Anna, Dahmer, Stranger Things, all of which had huge cultural relevance this year.
Yeah.
I can't think, Amazon has Jack Ryan, season 3, which some people like. Season 2 is atrocious. So, it lost a lot of faith in that stuff.
Well, you know what? Netflix, didn't they announce that they were raising their prices? Couldn't that be one reason people just said, screw it, I'm out?
I mean, for the $1 that they raised it or whatever. Yeah. Also they added their ad tier service that nobody cares about. It didn't reach. They had to give money back to advertisers because they weren't able to reach enough people with it because not enough people signed up.
And on that ad tier, you also sometimes had just one season of a show, but not the next seasons, which is incentivizing you to just upgrade your subscription.
I suppose
people just didn't want to do it.
Yeah, and I suppose it's fair to say maybe Netflix loses a little bit of trust because they're like, I love $18.90 net. Never mind, no season 2.
28-day rule.
I love that. Nope, no season 2. They just cancel everything.
You feel like you can't trust them.
I love the idea that there's just that whoever's in charge just gets drunk and goes on just benders where he just cancels stuff.
He's just clicking randomly.
Just at one night, he's just like somebody says something mean to him, so he cancels their favorite show.
Or maybe for each show, there's a certain number of hamsters running on wheels, and if enough of them take a nap at once, then it cancels the show.
But think about it. Think about how much money Amazon Prime spent on Rings of Power. How much money they spent? They spent almost as much money. Okay, not almost. A whole crap ton of money to gain the rights to James Bond. They purchased MGM. Wow. They don't have the frickin' James Bond movies on Amazon Prime.
That's insane, really?
All they have is frickin' Skyfall. Or I'm sorry, No Time to Die, the newest one. I was
where are they James Bond movies streaming?
This is
right
my
now?
favorite thing. This you can buy them, you can rent them or buy them. But this is my favorite thing. The James Bond movies feel like a psyop to me because it's every time I want to watch an old one, I'm I'm scrolling one day and I'm like, oh, I don't really want to watch that right now. I'll come back. Every time I come back, no matter what service it's on, it's gone. The day before.
They're getting
not
juggled
wrong.
around.
They just like they just move it. They're just like we don't want it to feel too comfortable in one place for too long.
Yeah.
Like it's like the other services are paying them to keep you having to buy all the streaming services because you want to get your hands on all of the James Bond movies, but no, you have to go check. I literally the other day I wanted to watch Casino Royale. I had to look at every streaming service and it wasn't on any of them.
You have Universal Search, right?
No.
No?
No.
Darn.
Universal Search.
Like if you have a Roku, you can like Universal Search all the platforms. Which
so
has one.
I asked that like a boomer.
only I had known that. The point is like I'm like it's at that time I'm missing my like actual physical media collection that's stuck in Minnesota.
This is why I still buy
Yeah.
physical media.
Yep. It's like so I'm doing this and I'm like if they can't even put all the freaking movies, what's the point? Like they're purchasing rights. It used to be like the point was that they have the rights so that all of them would be available there. It's not even gonna do that. What they're gonna do is they're gonna take it and then they're gonna license those old movies out to other streaming services and Freevee and Tubi and all these stupid places that nobody wants to go. So what's
Quibi.
so we're just back to the freaking cable television of the 90s.
I
Bite
love
me.
how angry you are.
Go off,
so
King.
mad right
Go
now.
off.
Like all I wanted to do was watch Casino Royale. That's it. 2006. Great movie. And nothing. So how is it that they don't have Wednesday, they don't have Dahmer, they don't have any of these movies? They've got their military alt-right, no, okay, like their right-wing movies, the stuff that I like, but I understand. But I'm saying like that stuff doesn't like there's only so much of an audience for stuff like that. Those movies, those shows did well, but they didn't do Wednesday numbers. They certainly didn't do Dahmer numbers. They didn't do Stranger Things numbers. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either. I feel like it's a big money laundering scheme. And as far as like not being able to find the movies or shows you like,
Tinder
that's
swindler.
a thing on Netflix a lot of the time. Like they switch around what is on their platform like quarter by quarter, year by year.
Yeah.
And also country by country. Like sometimes you need to like use a VPN to get a certain show if you have a Netflix subscription so that you can see it still. Like they make them only accessible for the UK or only for America. They switched around very often, so it's hard to predict.
Dude, they're literally like hostage takers. They've taken someone hostage and they keep moving them to different locations.
Yeah.
Like look, they had the Tinder swindler. That was huge too. Just
Yeah.
like Inventing Anna. So they've
Yeah.
hit multiple demographics. Dahmer is a subsect. Tinder swindler is yeah. I mean, I imagine there's some overlap between Dahmer and Tinder swindler and Inventing Anna. It's all middle-aged wine moms. Love that crap.
Oh, I don't think middle-aged wine moms were the Dahmer audience.
Oh,
That was me.
I think they are too. I definitely think they still are. That and
Really?
true crime. Yeah, I think there's some. I think there's some over there. Hustle.
It's a lot of millennial women.
I loved Hustle on Netflix. Gray Man supposedly did well, even though we couldn't understand why. I liked it, but I like everything.
It was lame.
Don't look up for your weirdo political activists who don't have lives. And then you've got the Adam Project. The Adam Project was cute. That was a good movie. Red Notice,
didn't
notwithstanding, that was the Red Notice was the most boring movie I've seen in a long time. But they had Bridgerton. Bridgerton was popular, so they have all of these things, and you're telling me Manifest. I've actually seen a lot of people talk about Manifest. I didn't think Scott Foley would have another hit after Scandal, but apparently, like Manifest is like really, really well liked. If anybody saw Resurrection a couple of years ago, there was a show similar. Like, it's like Netflix has all this stuff, and actually, I almost take it for granted. Like, I don't realize how much of a market cap Netflix has until you actually put them all side by side and see just how much stuff they have.
Yeah, but then they're often, criticized for being a little too cutthroat with what shows they allow to stay on the platform.
Yep.
So
Stranger
I don't know.
Things.
Like, I think that the strategy of like giving a show 28 days to succeed or fail, and if the metric for succeeding or failing is like the number of people you can get to finish the show in 28 days.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just their way of being as competitive as they possibly can be compared to Amazon, which will just buy properties they want.
Well, here's the most recent rankings for the top 10 movies and shows on Amazon Prime right now. And this is where it's interesting is they rely a lot on stuff that's been licensed. So like Jurassic World Dominion isn't owned by Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
That's I believe Paramount.
Yeah. I
right?
think Netflix is far more known for their originals than
Yes.
Amazon is.
So Jack Ryan, still haven't started the new season of Jack Ryan. So Hunters, The Rig, Three Pines, Reacher, Peripheral, Lord of the Rings of Power, Coach Prime, and The Black Phone. So the Peripheral's up there. Lord of the Rings is still up there. Nobody's actually watching this stuff. Like, who's watching
The Black
I'm
Phone
sorry.
was actually really good.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but it's been out for a while now.
Something like 8
Like
months,
it's So like Reacher came out almost a
Literally,
year ago.
who watched The Peripheral?
Other than me, the first 3 episodes, I have no idea. Like,
I didn't see anyone talking about these shows.
which is sad too, because somebody was talking about it in the chat earlier. Like, as much as I loved Reacher, and that was my favorite show that they've made in the last several years, I actually liked how good the Peripheral looked visually. Like, there were some great visuals in the Peripheral. Given I don't know what the budget was on the show, but it's like they just dump money. Like, it really does feel like Netflix is like, here's $100 million, go make something.
Wait,
right?
you mean Amazon?
No, I'm saying Netflix does that. Netflix does that. Amazon feels like they're probably more picky about what they seem to put money into. They're not just picking stuff at random.
I thought The Peripheral was on Amazon.
It is. That's what I'm saying. Like, so that one has a good amount of budget behind
Oh.
it. So I'm saying that it wasn't picked at random.
Yeah.
Whereas Netflix just seems to give them a bunch of money, and then you get movies like The Adam Project, which was cute and a great movie, but it was kind of a mess. I loved it, but it was a mess. I don't know. Like, it just, to me, right now, it doesn't feel like this was the year that they would have taken over.
I don't think they are. I think Netflix is going to creep back
Or
up.
maybe the idea here isn't that Hulu, it isn't so much that Amazon Prime beat Netflix, it's that Netflix beat itself. Like, Netflix lost to Amazon Prime, not Amazon Prime beat Netflix. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, Netflix lost it for themselves. Like Gunnar Stahl in the end of Mighty Ducks 2. It's a reference only half the chat will get. And it feels like Amazon's doing it by sheer force of Bezos. Money.
Right.
Like, they just have that much money to
It's
dump
the same
into
thing
stuff.
with Disney. They just
dumped all
bought
the
up
money.
Star Wars and they bought up Marvel. And it's not original content, but it's drawing more people to their platform.
Yeah, and I meant. Oh, by the way, Patrick Fuller says Jack Ryan is in Clear and Present Danger. I haven't seen any of the old. I just saw The Sum of All Fears like recently. Like, I want to watch a lot of these old like movies. Like they're totally up my alley, but just weren't part of my childhood. And it's funny too, because I really do believe that Amazon, other than the money they wasted on Rings of Power, has way more money to burn, it seems like, because at this point they're so rich that Amazon Prime is a write-off for them. Like, they seem more discerning about what they spend their money on than Netflix, who has less to offer financially.
Less to offer financially maybe means that they can be more discerning about the quality, though.
Maybe. I mean, like, I don't know if they got luck with like Wednesday, like that they didn't know that it was going to get as big as it did, and I certainly don't think it gets as big as it did without the dance. And I really do believe that there's now going to be every season's going to have a new dance. I can almost guarantee it. They're going to meme a new dance into existence every year.
Well,
now.
yeah, and it also like utilized this dark academia aesthetic that all of these teenagers are into these days.
Yeah.
So it was bound to do well with the TikTok crowd.
And this isn't even like Get Woke, Go Broke. Somebody said Get Woke, Go Broke. It's like they're all just like, none of these shows that I mentioned are necessarily all that abhorrent. They're fine.
I mean, yeah, like Get Woke, Go Broke isn't really the reality. None of these platforms are going broke.
like-
even if there are temporary losses, you can't even blame that on wokeness.
No, and like in Amazon Prime, like I said, they can offset it with the fact that they've got Bezos
Yeah.
gazillions of dollars.
I mean, Get Woke, Go Broke also would imply that ordinary people are paying even a smidgen of attention to the culture war that's going on right
Yeah.
now, and they're just not.
I do believe that we're right when we say post-profit era. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. Shift the ones over here,
Yeah.
shift the zeros over here. We'll wait till the next shareholder meeting. There's too many ways for them to push the buck down the road, and I don't know if these things end up. It doesn't even matter. Like, I'm still following what's going on with WWE and the potential sale of WWE, because Vince is just not going to allow that company to exist without him, and it's kind of fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
He is like we're missing out on not having a Vince McMahon biopic. Like, of all of these loser celebrities getting biopics, I want a Vince McMahon biopic that's rated X. Like, I want one I want the rated R. Like the NC-17 Vince McMahon biopic. That's just like every awful thing he ever did.
I'm into it.
He's an egomaniac.
I mean,
to the
after he
highest.
dies, you'll see that, I guess.
Likely, yeah. Like everything that like they make out Bezos to be is like Vince McMahon is actually the caricature of. Like he walks like this, and he says, "Hey there, pal," and he actually talks this way, and you're like his on-screen persona is.
Thank you.
Any suggestions, guys? What else could we add?
Send in your suggestions. I mean, Bezos is like far more boring as a villain than any of these people know.
He's it's all nerds getting back at the people that beat him up in high school.
I mean, Bezos was probably the kid who got beat up in high school.
There's that great meme from like in the early days of memetics, where it's like Jeff Bezos and like
what about Ted Sarandos
in like 1996 with he's got like a button-up shirt buttoned all the way to the top and these huge glasses and says, "I sell books," and then it's like him now. He's got the leather jacket on and the aviators and says, "I sell whatever the fuck I want." Like. You know, like he's early memetics, but he's that dude. I'm sure he was pushed into lockers. Yeah. I have no idea. Somebody in the chat's like, actually, he was a Giga Chad in high school. And
oh, okay.
I have no idea. I'm just saying that it is shocking to me that Amazon Prime has taken the lead. I mean, first of all, they should be disqualified for their button pushing, anyways. The app, the actual Amazon Prime app, should disqualify.
Very hard to use.
Should disqualify
Terrible
them.
User interface.
Yeah.
Should disqualify them from any type of award or market share leadership. They should be automatically stripped of viewers just by how awful it is to use that app. I actually, like, at one point I accidentally signed up for Paramount Plus on Amazon Prime, and if you sign up for like an app, like a third-party app on Amazon Prime without using it like on Amazon Prime, you can't use it then on their actual app. So if you buy Paramount Plus on Amazon Prime, you can only use Paramount Plus on Amazon Prime. You can't go into the Paramount Plus app and use it under that email. So I actually hate the Amazon Prime user interface so much that I canceled it and reopened it again outside of Amazon Prime just because I didn't want to use their interface because it's so bad. They should be fined every year. Into
I saw you
oblivion.
tweeting about their rewind feature not working.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.